Welcome back to the channel. This is Samelo TV, and this is a preview to Chelsea versus Fulham on Boxing Day. First of all, Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope that you guys are spending some time with the family and able to enjoy this time of the year. It's time for us to get back to winning ways. After that somewhat disappointing draw against Fulham on Sunday. And, there's not the time to be overreacting to that performance, because most teams are going to go draw at Everton this season, because those guys are anti-football and all they want to do is park the bus and make things difficult. But most teams are not going to do that. And even if they do, we're not going to have Disasi playing on the right back position every game. And Cucurella isn't going to be suspended, resulting in us playing Gusto at the left back position. So there's a lot of factors that went into us drawing that game, but ultimately Everton are anti-football and they didn't have any intention of winning the game. So with that being said, Fulham are a more formidable team, and we'll need to get all hands on deck this on Boxing Day to win that game. We're at home, so home court advantage is starting to become a thing for us again, because we're starting to win games at home. So we're going to have to really turn up and play really good football that day. I really think that we can win this game and we can get back to winning ways. So let's not overreact to that draw and just try to move on, And the last 6 games we've had against Fulham, in the last 6 games we won 4, drawn 1, and lost 1. Last time we lost against them in 2023, where we in a 2-1 loss. It was Fulham Chelsea, and we lost 2-1 in January 2023. So it's just a year ago, but since 2020, since that game, we've beat them. We've beat them in the Premier League, and we beat them in the International Conference, and then we've also beat them again in 2023 in the league. Well, actually, we beat them in the league as well in 2023, and we beat them early this year, 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. So Maresca made some comments on our over-reliance on Palmer. He said, and I quote, "I keep saying that we can't rely only on Cole Palmer. He's having to adapt because he's been man-marked in almost every game." And that is true. I mean, we've seen him have harder games recently because he's a man-marked. A lot of people know that if they nullify Cole Palmer, we're very much beatable. And if Cole Palmer gets a chance to go off in a game, the opponent's going to have a long day. So it's best to kind of mark him out of games. And then the fans are asking for Felix to be used more, which I totally understand, because if you see how these games have been recently, I feel like Felix could have been used a little bit more. He could have been utilized in some of these games where we lacked creativity, and Palmer was basically having a horrid time. And not just because it was man-marked, but because he just wasn't having a good game. You can tell he was just having a stinker in that Everton game, because we had chances to win that game if Palmer was on top of his game. So, the people that are saying Maresca needs to give Felix more minutes. We need his creativity against low blocks. The only problem with Felix at times is that, we get that pressing from him, but he sometimes is very casual with his finishing, and sometimes defensively can put us in a difficult spot. You look at that Tottenham game where they score late in the game, when Maddison easily beats Joao Felix, and he's able to put in that cross for Son to make it 4-3, which made it a nervy end to that game. I think that was the last time we saw Felix come on. So those are little things that I'm sure Maresca pays attention to. When you don't do your defensive duties when you come on. He's really big on that. I remember when Madueke had a hat trick, and he said the only thing he appreciates out of that game was that Madueke kept, being defensively sound the entire game. So that's something I think Felix is gonna have to, pay attention to if he wants to get minutes in this team. So with that being said, we have some good news. Rhys James is back in training. So let's hope that he's able to come in and, play some minutes, in this festive period. We need his crossing ability. We need his goal scoring. I love Gusto, but Gusto doesn't score goals. Like, this dude hasn't scored a single goal. And his crossing to me these days are even questionable. Because he's not getting to overlap as much. He's being asked to tuck in a little bit more. And I don't think he has that crossing ability from from the half spaces and more of the interior channels. He's better going outside to, put in a cross. So for that reason, I think we need Rhys back. And hopefully this time we keep him fit, because it's starting to get ridiculous at this point. But I'm not going to dwell too much on his injury woes, because that's not something that he can do much about. It's just unfortunate. But another thing that Maresca alludes to, Mudryk going to that Usyk versus Fury boxing fight. I guess there are questions about that. And he responds, in this moment, it is good that he can disconnect from the situation a little bit. I spoke with Misha. We tried to support him. Now we're just waiting. And when he says we're just waiting, he's talking about the B sample. We're still waiting on the B sample to come out to see if he's going to have to be on a lengthy ban, be suspended, or possibly even get his contract terminated. But I hope for Mudryk's sake, I hope that it's, the B sample is negative and he's cleared and able to return. But it seems that Maresca continues to back Mudryk. Perhaps he knows something that we don't. So we'll wait on that B sample, and I look forward to seeing that. So another thing that Maresca talks about in this press conference, he says that we're not in a title race. It is not about the pressure for the players, the club, or me. For me, it is a reality. We're ahead of our expectation in terms of the way we're playing and points. I hope one day soon we'll have the title race pressure. So the thing about Maresca is that people thought that he's playing the title charge as a gimmick. But Maresca has shown so far that he is a straight shooter. He's not a guy that will mince his words. I think he really does believe what he's saying. He said that he's not doing it just to downplay the pressure, to take off pressure from himself, or the club, or the players. He just doesn't think we're there yet. I'm sure once he feels like we're there, that chest will be out, and I'm sure the Chelsea fans will follow suit as well. This is my final thoughts on the game. I feel like Gu needs to be used when Jackson comes off. Nkunku is best used as a 10. The reason I say that is because Gu's pressing can help us when Jackson comes off. I think the pressing goes down significantly, which puts our midfield and our defense under a lot of pressure. Gu helps to maintain that pressure, and he's just one of the most, the best pressing players we have on our team. He's so determined. He makes you think. He makes your goalkeeper think. It makes the defense think. He's going to sniff out chances. And I think we need that speed and exuberance in late game situations, because we do tend to be put on the cosh when Nkunku comes on, because he can't press the same way. he's probably a better finisher, but I think if Nkunku should be coming in, he should be coming in for, Palmer, because he's better used as a 10. And another thought that I have is Cucurella is so important for our offensive game. To think that we're ready to get rid of him makes me so grateful we persisted during these tough times, because remember that loan to Manchester United, he could have gone there and really torn it up, and maybe he doesn't come back. So I'm glad that we put up and we were able to get some dividends now. We missed him so much in that game. Gusto, number one, is not a left back, and he doesn't do what Cucurella does in tight spaces. And that game was calling for a guy who knows how to play in tight spaces, which you can tell the impact that it had on Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho does not look the same without Cucurella partnering with him on the left. You don't have a speedy left winger in Jadon Sancho who's just going to beat his man and run to the byline and put in a cross. He's a guy that likes to combine, and having a guy like Cucurella on the left wing with him just improves his overall game. So I also think that guys like Anchipong on the right instead of Disasi would be an improvement whenever we have this right back conundrum again in the future. We've already seen that Disasi is not the answer at right back. You get skinned. The Njai guy for Everton was literally cooking him the entire game, and that was very painful to watch. So I think that Anchipong, who's just signed a new contract with Chelsea Football Club, and he's now gotten a locker in the locker room, should be given a chance on the right back position. And I'm looking forward to this game. I really think that if we get our win, we can get back to winning ways, and we can continue to put pressure on Liverpool and continue to hold that strong position in the league. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Make sure you smash a like on this video, and I'll be back with more videos. Peace.